around the world. Taiwan is seeing a sustained surge in Chinese military activity around the country. The Defense Ministry says it detected 54 Chinese military aircraft, 6 naval vessels, and 2 official ships near Taiwan within a 24-hour period ending Saturday morning. 47 of those aircraft entered Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This is not the country's sovereign airspace, but is used as a buffer zone for defensive purposes. It's the second day of heightened activity near Taiwan and comes after China and Russia carried out joint naval drills in the region. The Defense Ministry says it has monitored the situation and responded with its own aircraft and ships. A war game simulating a Chinese blockade of Taiwan has revealed that Singapore may play a key role during a cross-strait conflict. The city-state may be vital to evacuating and airlifting Southeast Asian nationals out of Taiwan. Over 90% of foreign nationals living in Taiwan hail from Southeast Asian countries. Singaporean troops regularly train in Taiwan, and the two sides enjoy long-standing military ties. London-based think tank International Institute for Strategic Studies conducted the war games. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on August 15th. Trump made the announcement on social media, saying he and Putin will discuss the future of the Ukraine war during the meeting. The news comes after Trump said repeatedly that Kyiv and Moscow are close to a ceasefire deal. Trump told reporters on Friday that Ukraine may have to give up territory to reach such a deal.
It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
The announcement also follows Trump's threats to place new sanctions and tariffs on Russia unless Putin agreed to end the war. Japan is marking 80 years since the atomic bombing of Nagasaki and the last use of nuclear weapons in war. Among the dead were Taiwanese citizens, yet Taiwan has only now been invited to take part in the annual memorial. Our reporter Bryn Thomas spoke to Ian Rowan, associate professor at Kyushu University, to find out what this means for Taiwan-Japan relations.
Some of the people who died in the bombings at Hiroshima and Nagasaki were Taiwanese, and Taiwan was part of the Japanese Empire at the time. So why did it take 80 years for Taiwan to get invited to one of these memorial services?
The first few decades of these commemorations, invitations were not extended directly to states or countries as such. They were mostly for survivors, for other interested parties. And by the time Hiroshima and Nagasaki issued direct invitations to countries or other diplomatic partners, Taiwan, as the Republic of China, had already been de-recognized in 1972 in favor of the People's Republic of China. And given that de-recognition and given the later conditions that invitees be members of the UN or countries which have official relations with Japan, the ROC was never invited.
What does Taiwan being invited say about the state of Taiwan and Japan's relationship right now? And what does it say about how Japan is framing the war 80 years later?
I would suggest that Taiwan's invitation does not have very much to do with a reconsideration of Japan-Taiwan relations under colonial rule. It's probably more addressing contemporary issues. Japan and Taiwan have moved closer on security and cultural and other forms of diplomatic exchange, however unofficial, in recent years, and this invitation reflects these contemporary concerns.
In May, Nagasaki's mayor said Taiwan would not be invited to this year's event, as invitation is only extended to countries which Japan has formal diplomatic ties with. Then, later on in July, Taiwan was told its presence there would be accepted. Can you explain the change?
Without pretending to read the mind of the leaders of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, my sense is that both cities have had trouble navigating diplomatic considerations for both Taiwan as well as other controversial geopolitical concerns. Each city, I think, is navigating both their own leadership's concerns as well as their coordination with the central government. And as Taiwan and Japan continue reconfiguring their relationship, these cities become, you might say, proxy battles for the larger reconsideration of relations between Japan, Taiwan, and the elephant in the room, of course, being China.
The average age of a hibakusha is now thought to be around 86. Of about 100,000 of these atomic bomb survivors, only a handful are thought to be Taiwanese. So I wonder, will these people benefit from Taiwan's participation in these memorial events, or do they serve a different purpose?
Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs make little to no statement or nod to the survivors, the Taiwanese survivors of the bombs. It's almost all about contemporary considerations, shared values of peace, and so on. So the survivors actually seem to be pushed to the background of these discussions. Therefore, I don't think that Taiwan's invitation will make much of a material difference to Taiwanese survivors of the blasts.
That was Ian Rowan, Associate Professor at Kyushu University. Taiwan's Economy Ministry says some goods exported to the U.S. may face tariff rates higher than 20%. That's because Taiwan had already been paying tariffs on many of its goods. These levies, called Most Favored Nation tariffs, are standard rates imposed on all World Trade Organization members. The new 20% rate the Trump administration has set will be on top of those existing tariffs. Anti-dumping and countervailing duties are also applied, meaning an even greater burden for exporters. Drones are increasingly becoming a part of daily life. But in Taiwan, they're not just tools to help with day-to-day tasks. They're also a key piece of the country's defense strategy. As Leslie Liao reports, the country is betting big on the technology, integrating R&D, education, and production in hopes of becoming a drone leader.
From agriculture to photography to animal conservation, drones are an emerging technology that Taiwan has quickly adopted.
我大学是读屏科大农园生产系，拄好大学的时阵，无人机这种物件伫台湾拄好开始，所以讲阮农机课顶悬就有想到，无人机喷药啊。
The country is moving quickly to build its own domestic drone industry, encompassing everything from education, R&D, and production. In recent years, drones have taken the spotlight in the defense industry. They've emerged as a vital tool in Ukraine's fight against Russia, and their effectiveness has caught Taiwan's attention. Taiwan faces its own invasion threats from neighboring China. Beijing claims Taiwan as part of its territory and has not ruled out taking the island nation by force. Facing this threat, Taiwan has taken a page out of Ukraine's playbook, adopting drone tech as a key part of its defense strategy. But that strategy right now depends on one crucial factor: talent. How will Taiwan harness the power of drones if there's no one to build or develop them? That's where the country's schools are stepping in. At National Formosa University in Western Taiwan, the Aeronautical Engineering Department is housing a budding drone program. Students here are given hands-on experience before they go out into the job market.
大学会去选修无人机，是因为之前就有摸过类似的飞机，然后也有兴趣这样，所以才去选修这堂课。毕业后就觉得东西好像还不够这样子，所以才决定来虎尾这边读，继续深造这样。
About 50 kilometers away in Jiayi is the Asia UAV AI Innovation Application R&D Center, a government initiative to help accelerate industry growth. Over 50 private companies, schools, and research institutes have set up shop at the center. For some, it's a more ideal place for developing drones.
其实阮一开始是伫台南遐的一个小办公室遐其实是无啥方便，因为遐无一个足大的空地，会使讲，阮会使把阮的飞机就伫起飞。
On the front lines of Taiwan's drone trade are manufacturers and sellers. Many of them create custom, specialized UAVs on a smaller scale. They say fully commercializing Taiwan's drone market still depends on demand.
需求数量不够的话，就会导致说我们在找寻这个非红供应链的厂商的时候，甚至就是有些是你拿钱人家都不愿意帮你做，即使人家愿意帮你做，就是各个零组件拿到的一个成本，那个成本上面来说都会相对高很多。
Taiwan is betting big on drones. The technology has proven practical in everyday life, but it could also be a lifeline for the country as it faces an existential threat from across the strait. Where Taiwan goes from here in fulfilling its drone ambitions is now up to those making, buying, and operating them. Eason Sun and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's population fell last month, marking 19 straight months of decline. That's according to new figures from the country's Interior Ministry, which show a decline of nearly 9,000 people from June to July, and a year-on-year drop of over 70,000 people. It comes as Taiwan becomes a super-aged society, where 20% or more of the country's people are 65 years or older. The country's birth rate has also been falling. Taiwan's National Development Council estimates that total population may dip below 23 million as early as 2030. Last month, Taiwan claimed its first gold medal at the 2025 World University Games in Germany, with the women's Taekwondo Poomsae team standing proudly atop the podium. I went to meet the athletes, now back at home, to find out more about their road to victory. A show of power and elegance, with choreographed movements to demonstrate skill and discipline. Meet Taiwan's women's Taekwondo Poomsae team, Chen Xingya, Yang Changying, and Guo Yingyu. The trio bagged the country's first ever gold medal in the category at the 2025 World University Games in Germany this summer, scoring an average of 8.8 points in the finals, trumping South Korea's 8.7 and the US's 8.4. Their coach Hwang Pei-yun says the young athletes' performance exceeded expectations, the result of around 2 months of training.
他们3个在这么短的时间内可以就是练到这么好，我觉得是因为3个人在训练的时候，我们的共同目标就是拿金牌。
Though it was intense, the team says their training schedule have paid off.
我们这一次跟之前比较不一样，是先把自由品式的编排，然后技术先练好，后面才跟队友们在练公认品式的默契上才开始练习。所以我觉得这是金牌的关键。
Their journey to the top has not been easy. All three came to the mat in Germany with knee injuries. Things were especially tough for Yang Changying, who tore her ligaments and part of her cartilage during training.
因为刚选拔完我就受伤，其实我是已经做好就是被换掉的这个决定，就是我当下是觉得我不要连累队友，我什么都不能做。 被换掉也是应该的，
所以其实我就是受到他们的鼓励，才想办法一直站起来，不然我觉得我自己不会这么勇敢。
In the end, though, their injuries helped strengthen their bond, enabling them to support one another, with each performing movements that their other teammates found difficult.
那互补的情况下，就变成是他的空翻动作可能少一点，比较对他有危险性的动作，我们把它减少。那比较可以稳定，可能就是脚可以稳定上场的人，我们就把它就是发挥到比较多这样子。
The training process and its success at the games has taught the team valuable lessons about teamwork, perseverance, and self-confidence.
我觉得我的心态成长蛮多的，就还没打这场比赛之前，我会一直陷入。 我自己做不到，后来就是用量去补了之后，也发现到其实自己是做得到的，只是不愿意相信自己。但这次世大运让我知道，我自己其实是可以的。
For these athletes, they may only have spent a few glorious minutes on the winner's podium, but the feelings of pride and accomplishment will likely last a lifetime. Scott Huang and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we're heading to the London Zoo, where lions are enjoying a special party in honor of World Lion Day. I'm Sandy Chi. Take care and see you next time.